DX Central, because we're all about radio.
All right, so not sure what happened there. Internet went down for a second, and we had to kind of reboot everything up, but we're here. And the really awful thing is that while we were down, Radio Nacional de Colombia actually ID'd here on 570. So there you go. We'll see if we can get an ID again, though. How about that? We've got a Salem radio network station here as well. There's a Columbia. I heard it. Here's the really great thing about let me see if I can rewind here. That's the great thing about Jaguar is you kind of have the AM radio DVR going at all times. These static crashes are wreaking havoc with my AGC. So I think I gotta turn it off. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the old radar here and just make sure that we're gonna be in the clear for the rest of the evening. We have some lightning down to our south. Hanging out over the Atlantic. I think we're going to be good here. There's nothing heading this way, so we should be in the clear. Just have a little bit of static from lightning crashes. But hey, it's almost summertime, right? Let's go up to It's another Cuban. This is Radio Musical Nacional. I'm pretty sure we also So that's definitely the Cuban. Let's go back up. Last night we were up around 1620 trying to hear Virgin Islands, but we were getting kind of stomped out by the Rebeldi. So there is Gulf Breeze, Florida.
In which the prince served as his coffin was.
That's Rebeldi.
Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio station.
We're also here in 1550. At least 6 different transmitters. So it's kind of a mess.
The strategy of the cartels is to overwhelm Border Patrol agents and law enforcement officials. And when the Border Patrol agents are so completely overwhelmed, it's during those moments that the cartels will bring across the border even the more dangerous elements. It could be people who are violent criminals. It could be people who are from what are called special interest countries. Those are interests.
Pues los amigos oyentes señalaban que continúan realizando su labor criminal estos cárteles a través de la frontera. Y además la patrulla fronteriza tiene pruebas de estas actividades de traficio de armas.
Yeah, that's
de tráfico de drogas.
That's probably Lale here in Tampa. WAMA. That's who we're hearing here on 1550 with the talk, and then they have the English. Some at the border. With the Southwest wire. With the South wire. All right, we've got a couple of offset carriers here that are doing something very interesting here on 1520. So let's take a look at it. Let me zoom back out again. Wow, we've got like 3 actually. We've got one here at 1520.0698. So basically 1520.07-ish. Looking at North America first as our most likely I am not seeing anything that's in that regard. Now let's go to Central America and the Caribbean. I'm again not seeing anything reported at that offset. And that's an offset that is so far off that I would think anyone who's listening would find that and be able to ID it. So let's look at South America. Again, it's 1520.07 essentially, right around 07. Well, there we go. Colombia, Radio Príncipe de Paz in Barranquilla. That's probably who it is. Audio's a little weak right now. We've also got a 1520.04. Probably this Supresencia Radio in Bogota, and also in Colombia, probably who that is. Then we've got another one here at 1519.98. Could be a Brazilian. Maybe something. Could be Buffalo. Actually, yeah, that's probably Buffalo. Let's see who that is. Even here on the Southwest wire, the South wire. Now, look at the Southwest. We're getting them hard. Oh, no, they're actually gone. Who's this at 015-ish? If that's our oldie station, that's probably right. If there's, it may be daytime only, though. I don't know. Let's go back to the South wire. You can see the difference that the South wire makes. As soon as I do that, boom, those are back. And it's ironic that the company that makes the wire that we're using here is called Southwire. Oh, that's the gosh. I'm going to apologize in advance for the yawning. I am way into this now. See if we can find a live stream with these guys. Oh, this would be nice if this is them, because this would be a new one for me. A new Colombian. Let's see what their live stream shows.
Ella está demandando justicia, pero está sola. Le toca a ella dar la cara ante este juez injusto y sin temor de Dios, porque no hay nadie más que la pueda ayudar.
That's not their live signal. I think I figured out who it is. Give you a hint, it's not a Spanish station. This could be Maryland. Although, on that south wire, not likely. It could also be Florida. We have a couple of Floridians down here that are ethnic. There's a lot of ethnic on this frequency, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's either one of the Florida stations or Maryland, with ethnic. It's not Spanish, so not Latin America. So we're going to continue our search. Let's go to 1510. There's a couple of, I mentioned earlier, there's a couple of beacon frequencies I usually use to see how conditions are. My number one is 1090, because that tells me if I'm seeing the Peruvian loud or not. If I'm seeing them louder than usual, then it's a good Latin night. And I know I can look at other things into South America. If I'm not seeing them, then it's kind of and they're there. They're about usual, what I usually see of them on a typical night. They're there. They're not super strong, but they're not weak either. They're actually, they're building up now. So 1090 is my first go-to. Another one that I do is 1510, because on that frequency, a bit off of that is, let me zoom out. There is a Ecuadorian that's usually up around, and I think it's up in here somewhere, if I remember right. I don't remember the exact offset. Let me see if I have it on here. I know I do. Radio Monumental. Yeah, 1509.9983. 9893, sorry. So they're actually down here somewhere. That's right, they're a little off. Down in here. So that's one that I look for. I'm not seeing them right now. This is my Southwest wire. This is my South wire. I'm not seeing them on either one of them. And then the other frequency is 1500. There's a couple things I'm looking for here. One is this guy, 7525, 1499, 7525. There's another Peruvian here. Radio Santa Rosa, 1499.75. So that's a Peruvian right there. And then we have a couple of other little offsets that pop up from time to time. Let me zoom in just a touch. Do I lose? Yeah, I lose the 7.5 when I zoom into a 2. And all I've logged, I think, 2 stations here. One of them is WFED in DC.
DOD Thought Exchange, sponsored by Auphonix.
We've got oldies. Money.
Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What's best for you and your federal career? And what's the best for your trained and life policy? Search your
Welcome back to listening to Ask the CIO on Federal News Network. I'm your host, Jason Knight. Legislator Joe Paso, a recent graduate at Virginia Tech, who studied federal.
Now, here's the cool thing. So I've got WFED in DC in both of my South and my Southwest wire because I haven't dialed in the resistance in the back end completely to null them out entirely. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to phase them out with our phaser. All right. They're there in the Southwest. They're there in the South. So let's try to phase them out.
community, it's kind of the fact of what open source is. Sometimes you need diversity of skills, you need
See. See if we're hearing any of the usual Puerto Ricans. Start with 680. Static is just so mean. The static is mean tonight. We have those offshore storms down here just to our south, off the coast of Savannah, that are wreaking havoc here. Let's do a real quick switcheroony here. Let's go to our ELAD and see what we have going on over here on the W6 LVP loop. Let me not be on that. I think we were on 1680. Yeah, 1680 last time I saw here. So let's see what we're hearing.
And our security is dedicated to providing. Y es tiempo de disfrutar nuevamente de la música cubana. Abrimos este momento musical con Charanga Habanera. Miramos, luego sigue Juliana. Llega los cuatro junto a Alexander Abreu, Flores, Mireya Maray.
Claro, Dexter, me encanta cuando sonrías de manera pícara cuando le hago algunos gestos. Música a cargo de Edgar Joyce, los güeyes, Paula Paché, para ti solita, y Elvis Crespo, la foto tenemos, Rosy, que de feita, es mejor que te vaya a borrar.
Rebellion on both the loop and the KAZ. Now the loop is oriented kind of southish, kind of similar to the KAZ, because I wanted to be able to do a comparison between the two. So they're pretty much on the same bearing right now. I just wanted to do a comparison to see loop versus KAZ. How are they picking up? Now, there are two different radios, obviously. One's a Perseus, one's an ELAD. So there's some differences there, but it should be interesting to see how one's doing versus the other here. So this is the ELAD with the W6 LVP loop. Charles Williams, let me do here. Charles Williams in the chat here mentioned looking on Wikipedia and not seeing much south of the border on 1520. So I'm assuming you're meaning Mexico there. And we can actually show you here. I have my my Jaguar software has a mapping feature in it here. So let me just show you here. Yeah, as far as the country of Mexico, you're absolutely right. There's one station in the entire country, and it is a small one, 1,000 watts, 1 kilowatt. There are some here in in the Caribbean, and I don't think there's a whole lot in South America. There's one station here. There's a couple way down south. Way down there. I'm on 1620 still. Sorry. What was I thinking? Let me go to 1520, which you're talking about here. So we actually have a couple. We have one right on the border, a border station at 1,000 watts. Wouldn't call that a border blaster, but 1,000 watts. Just south of the Arizona-California line. There's another one right here on the Texas border. There's a couple more down here a little bit further south, including one that's a 2 kilowatt station, so a little bit better there. We have some Central Americans. We have a couple of Caribbean stations, the big one being this Puerto Rico at 25K. They're kind of the dominant station there in the Caribbean. We have a couple of South Americans here as well. We have a 5 kilowatt station in Colombia. We have another Colombian here, another Colombian here, right on the northern shore. A bunch over here in Brazil, just an absolute ton in Brazil. And then, some more down south down here. So looking specifically at Mexico, yeah, there's not much. There's a handful. There's 4 or 5 stations there total. If you factor in the Central Americans, the Caribbean, and the South Americans, there's a little bit there from a Latin American perspective. The big one here is the Radio Activa in San Jose in Puerto Rico, or San Juan, Puerto Rico, sorry. One of the things you can do, I tend to find this to be a little more accurate than Wikipedia or any other, many of the other online sources, and that is looking here at, let me see why we don't see it. Oh, because we turned it off. Let me go back to my Jaguar here so you can see the map. Let me turn this back on. I turned it off earlier when we had our internet problems. I'm going to show you a site that I use pretty extensively for my my Central American, South American DX to know kind of what's there. It's called MWList, mediumwavelist.org. They have these that are called the medium wave list quick and easy. So you just do a Google search, MWList quick and easy. There are a total of 4. You have a Europe, Africa, and Middle East. You have an Asia and Pacific, a South America, and then this North America, Central America, and Caribbean. And you can tune in here. You can go to whatever frequency you want to go to. So I'll click on 1520, and it's going to then give me a list of all of the stations down on 1520. On the North American, obviously, you're going to see your U.S. stations as well, but you'll also see the international stuff here. If you're outside of the U.S., or if you're in the U.S., rather, the international stuff outside of the U.S. If there is a link for a stream, they try to put those there as well. And then you can also do the same thing here. Obviously, if I look at South America, for instance, I can go down here and pull them up this way as well in South America. And try to find my stations that way. So a really fantastic way to kind of sort through if you're not using a program like Jaguar with the Perseus SDR that has the list kind of built in with the maps and everything else. If you don't have that, MWList is what I've always used for my international stuff. It makes it a lot easier. It's a lot more accurate. It's kind of built by DXers for DXers. So there you go. All right, looks like our stream quality is a little dicey. Is it? Is it dicey right now? Nope, that's back. Sorry about the connection issues tonight, guys. I have never had, except for the very first time we ever tried to do a live stream with the DX test. Since then, we haven't had any streaming issues with our internet here. It's been a solid bulletproof connection, but for whatever reason tonight, it's not getting there. So there you go. All right, so let's go back to the DX. We're here. Let's go down low. Let's look for something. We have an easy Colombian we can try to find. If we're not seeing Columbia here on 700 tonight, then we should pack it up because there's not much else you're going to really find. If you can't hear Columbia, W Radio in Cali, Colombia, on 700 on a Latin night, then you're not having a Latin night. Because I have nothing in Cuba in my way. There's nothing really in Central America in my way. We have WLW in Cincinnati. Other than that, there's really nothing here that should be preventing me from hearing Cali.
Governor Ron DeSantis was likely hiding thousands of positive COVID cases. Now cases are climbing again. Retweet if you think Florida deserves better than Governor DeSantis. Well, that's a lie. By Charlie Chris. That's not a Yahoo News story warning that Florida COVID numbers face new scrutiny, incorrectly framed the key finding of the study of profiles, according to the principal researcher of the study in question, as well as other researchers quoted in the same article. Quote, Florida is undercounting COVID-19 by thousands of cases.
Wow, that static is just brutal tonight. All right, so we've managed to phase out WLW, but the lightning crashes are just wiping us out down here, pointing due south down towards Columbia. So if I'm looking for the Colombian 700.024, which is somewhere in here, plus or minus a little bit, it doesn't have to be dead on, somewhere in this ballpark though. That's probably the pop music that I'm hearing in there. It's just really rough, man. The pop music is probably Columbia. It's just rough going with these storms off the coast. Let's do one more. If we don't hear it here, we'll probably pack it up because we're not having a super strong Latin night tonight. And we were up pretty late last night streaming. Let's check 650. We have two Latin stations here that we can look for. One is a Progreso in Cuba, which is the most likely thing we're going to hear. We're going to parallel it to 640 to see if that's what we're hearing. The other is another Colombian, Radio Nacional de Colombia. So let's look at 640. That's Radio Progreso in Cuba. Let's see if we hear that on 650. Oh, man. SM in there, and SM and Progresso. I'm not hearing the Colombian at all. And I would expect to see them around 9964. Let's zoom out just a touch. There's 9917, 9964 be somewhere in here. I don't see them. Yeah, I'm not seeing my usual landmarks here, guys. Let me go back one more time to my main Beacon Freak. Let me go to my Beacon Freak here, 1090, and see, again, even on the South Wire here, the Colombian is weak. The Peruvian is weak. There's not a lot here tonight, at least not from Charleston. Some other folks may be having absolute dynamite reception tonight into Latin America, but we're not getting it here. The storms off the coast to the south of us are making the static just absolutely nightmarish, and then the signal levels just aren't there. Let me go back and double check our A and K index, see if it's changed at all. No, still strong 29 and 4. So I would expect to see something. Normally at A index of 29 and K index of 4, we have a pretty good Latin night here. Dominican Republic's coming in, Nicaragua's coming in, Honduras is coming in, Peru is coming in, Ecuador is coming in. We're usually hearing, a ton of Colombians. The only Latins I'm really hearing, I did hear the one Radio Nacional down on 570 earlier, but it was weak. The only Latins I'm really hearing with any strength tonight are Cubans. The rest of it's just kind of shot. There's one more. So I've got Progresso here on 810, and the other station I'm looking for here is Radio Caracol in Colombia. They are pretty loud here quite frequently. I got one more we can try after this if this doesn't work. And if these two aren't here, then there's no hope. I can tell you that. Caracol is a Spanish-speaking station right now. That guy. All right, on the stream, if we hear this change to a female here, there's a bit of a delay on the stream. I'm pretty sure that's them. That's them. Her. That's Caracol in Colombia. So the horns is Radio Progresso. I was hoping we had another Latin station, but it's Progresso. All right, so let's check one more. Radio Coro in Coro, Venezuela. And I have an absolutely perfect way here of checking to see if we're hearing them. There is... If any of you are on the Transworld Radio Bonaire Kiwi SDR, it's full. I'm gonna have to get me a password for that one. That's a big one. We're gonna queue up though. We're joining the queue for the Transworld Bonaire SDR, Kiwi SDR, and it's a fantastic one. Like I said, it's right off the coast of Venezuela. So it hears Radio Coro like, you know, it's a local, because it basically is. And there's maybe a second delay between the Kiwi SDR that you hear and what I hear on air. So it's a fantastic way to try to do a parallel for north kind of Atlantic coast Colombians and those northern Atlantic coast Venezuelans. Similarly, while I'm waiting for this to queue, the Key West SDR, the Kiwi SDR in Key West, is fantastic for the Caribbean and Cuba, and the Brownsville, Texas SDR is fantastic for Mexico. So for Latin nights, those are the three that I kind of go between.
Arkansas's law banning gender-confirming treatments for transgender minors hasn't taken effect yet, but it's already causing pain and uncertainty for hundreds of youth currently receiving
Makes it hard to null them out with the phaser, too.
You walk into an ice orange.
worked very hard to hire members of the.
We're going to leave this rolling till the top of the hour, and then probably call it quits for the night, because there's not much here from a Latin night perspective. There's really not a lot here. And let me double check my radar again, just to make sure we got nothing heading my way here. All off the coast, but man, it's actually curving up a little bit, which is causing some of these to be right off of our coast here in Charleston, where I am. So you'll, it's kind of rough. Let's go back to our wrist.
Flash credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job. If you're having leg pain, but haven't talked to a doctor yet, don't wait. Things from Belgium. Which could travel to your lungs and lead to pulmonary damage, which could cause chest pain, difficulty breathing, and deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious.
Shoot.
Después de García Márquez fue tratar de volver al realismo, pero seguramente muy pronto llega la magia, porque en el arte se avanza muchas veces como una y ahora que la gente está realista en su arte y literatura, se volverá seguramente a la magia. Ana Francis. Gabo fue uno de los primeros escritores que leí. Mi primer libro fue El coronel no tiene quien le escriba y conquistó mi corazón. 100 años de soledad lo leí en mi adolescencia y fue demasiado hermoso.
Muy bonito. Con esta señora, concuerdo total y absolutamente. ¿Alguna pregunta, algún comentario más?
Aquí América Mágica, haciendo referencia a la primera intervención del maestro Roberto Tobar Gaitán, dice lo siguiente: es cierto lo que dice el maestro Roberto, falta alguien que recopile ese viaje y ustedes han sido uno de los primeros.
Muchas gracias. Bueno, yo digo lo mismo, me encantaría viajar mucho más de lo que yo he hecho en Colombia y buscar esas historias de más. El problema es conseguir financiación para esto. Pero bueno, si Dios quiere, es un proyecto importante y ojalá. Pero bueno, hay que seguir luchando. ¿Alguna pregunta, algún comentario más?
Y un Carlos, que sea muchos años haciendo referencia a los cumpleaños
right, we're waiting for an ID here at the top of the hour for Radio Caracol in Colombia. See if we can at least add one this evening here. My favorite song on AM radio. I don't know what it is about that song, the Radio Progresso theme song, but I absolutely love that. Always live and listen to it every time I hear it on here. It was especially cool. I mentioned it last night. It was especially cool hearing it on a graveyard frequency. Stood out like a sore thumb, made it so much easier to ID them. Let's go recount back a bit right here at the top of the hour and see if we hear Radio Caracol ID. All right, so we got them. We got Caracol Radio there. Multiple IDs on them. Mentions of Colombia before that. Nice IDs. And then right before the Noticias right there, before we stopped, very nice Caracol ID. What you saw me doing there is actually logging this in Jaguar. I also grabbed an audio clip of the ID, so I would have that. And then I submitted it, and it actually submits. I mentioned earlier that website, Medium Wave List. Actually, let me go the other way here. Let me go to my. I think I have to do it the other way. MediumWavelist.org. So we're going to go here now, and when I did that, let me go ahead and log in. If you go to my logbook here, you'll see, there it is, Caracol Radio Bogota. The time, the date, all of it, it's there, and I can go in here, and I will do this. I didn't translate. Add recording, there it is. I can actually go in here now, and I can add in, forget where it is. Is it documents? No. I think it's under Jaguar. There it is. Zero 50 something. 0501. UTC DX. I don't have to capitalize that. There we go. Hit upload. Oh, I have to do the format. Okay. Day, month, year. Oh, it was the dots. 18.04.2021. There we go. So now my audio recording is uploaded. So anyone who goes to my logbook here on MW List, you can look me up. W4LVH is my name on here, I think. Lloyd Van Horn, Charleston. And you can actually go, if you go to the worldwide logbook right now and look at today, you'll see, right now I'm the only one on here, on the visual. And then you can click here, and you can see my complete logbook, everything I've uploaded. This is not everything I've heard, but it's just what I've logged in Jaguar and sent up to MW List. And there's some really good stuff. As you can see, my Brazilian, Colombians. I don't know why my Peruvian's not showing up. It should be. Yeah, that's them. I guess it's right on the border, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's right. Up in that little itty bitty tiny corner right there. Wow, nice. So, yeah, that's one of the other cool things about medium wave list is Jaguar rather, is you can upload to medium wave list. And without having to do any extra steps. I took the extra step to upload the audio clip that I made, but you don't have to do that. So I'm going to call it a quit for the night. Super tired, been out there in the sunshine all day, and there's not a lot. The static's really making it difficult. So turn that recording off now that it's 08 after. We're going to go ahead and call it quits for this evening. Thank you to all of you who did tune in. I saw quite a few of you kind of popping in there. Those of you who are in the chat with us, thank you for being part of the fun there. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. It's just twitter.com/DX Central. That way you can follow along and you can find out when we'll be doing all of our live stuff. I'm trying to find them. There you go. We'll be doing all of our live streams here on YouTube, twitter.com/DXCentral. If you enjoyed our video this evening, wasn't a ton of exciting stuff going on the radio, but if you enjoyed the conversation and the ability to do a live DX session, be sure to give us a thumbs up, leave us some good comments as well, and don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are available and new live streams. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and call it an evening. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on tonight. We'll be doing another one of these sessions tomorrow, or a little earlier in the evening, probably. So stay tuned to my Twitter feed. Again, that's twitter.com/DXCentral. I'll let you know on Twitter when we're going to be coming up. I'll try to give as much advance notice as possible, and then obviously we'll have our usual countdown and everything else. So thanks, everyone, for jumping on this evening. Hope we have better conditions tomorrow, especially with the new antenna when I really test that out. 73, Best of DX from everyone here at DX Central.
DX Central, because we're all about radio.